Ludwig Wittgenstein's Philosophical Investigations is one of the most influential works in modern philosophy, challenging traditional views on language, meaning, and thought. The book, published posthumously in 1953, marks a departure from Wittgenstein's earlier work, Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, and instead introduces a new perspective on how language functions in everyday life. Rather than seeing language as a rigid system of representation, he argues that meaning arises from its use in specific contexts, a concept he calls language games. This idea suggests that words do not have fixed meanings but are defined by the social activities in which they are embedded. Wittgenstein critiques the idea that language must correspond directly to reality in a one-to-one manner. He introduces the concept of family resemblance to explain how words and concepts relate to one another without needing a singular underlying essence. Instead of searching for absolute definitions, he encourages looking at how words function within different activities. By doing so, he rejects the traditional philosophical obsession with finding a logical foundation for language and instead emphasizes its practical, evolving nature.
A key aspect of philosophical investigations is its critique of the idea of private language. Wittgenstein argues that language is inherently social and that for words to have meaning, they must be publicly understood and used in shared contexts. This challenges the notion that thoughts and experiences are purely private, or that individuals could create a language understandable only to themselves. He demonstrates that meaning emerges from communal agreement rather than internal introspection. The book also addresses philosophical problems as confusions arising from the misuse of language rather than deep metaphysical mysteries. He suggests that many traditional philosophical debates arise from misunderstanding how words function in different contexts. Instead of solving philosophical problems through complex theories, Wittgenstein believes they can often be dissolved by clarifying how language is being misapplied. This approach makes philosophy more of a therapeutic activity aimed at resolving confusion rather than constructing grand theories. Ultimately, philosophical investigations shifts the focus of philosophy from abstract theorizing to the practical workings of language in everyday life. Wittgenstein's insights challenge us to rethink how we communicate, understand meaning, and interpret reality. By showing that language is not a fixed system but a set of evolving practices, he invites us to approach philosophical and everyday problems with greater clarity and flexibility. Life lessons from philosophical investigations. Meaning comes from use. Words do not have inherent meanings. They derive their significance from how they are used in different situations. In life, this teaches us to focus on context and communication rather than rigid definitions or assumptions about meaning. Clarity over complexity. Many misunderstandings, both in philosophy and daily life, arise from confusion in language. Instead of overcomplicating things, we should seek clarity by examining how words and ideas are actually being used. Language is a social activity. Our understanding of the world is shaped by shared linguistic practices. This highlights the importance of engaging with others, listening, and adapting to different perspectives, rather than relying on purely individual interpretations. Dissolve problems instead of solving them. Some problems arise not because they have deep answers, but because we are asking the wrong questions. Instead of searching for absolute truths, sometimes we need to reframe our approach and recognize when language itself is leading us astray. Flexibility is key to understanding. Language and meaning are dynamic, not fixed. This applies to life as well. Adapting to new contexts, embracing change, and being open to different ways of seeing things are essential to personal and intellectual growth.